Welcome back, and joining us on the show now is Navneet Damani. He's head commodity and currencies at Motilal Oswal. Navneet, hi, thank you so much for joining in. And because I was talking about metals, that's the first question I'm going to ask you. There is some support continuing back here, but would you say that the ranges are getting narrow and we're not anymore making multi-year or all-time highs for many of these?
Well, base metals have been a surprise pack over the last 6-7 months, where we have seen copper range up from $8,000 to about $14,000 in the month of January. Now trading closer to $13,300, $400. Surprise comes in from about 5-6 mega mines across the globe getting in production crisis. Some because of environmental concerns, some procedural concerns, and some because of rain and mudslide concerns. All this has led to a spike in prices, and to top it up, rally in silver also supported base metal complex to a very large extent. So the demand side scenario where silver will be used in AI, solar, everything typically matches for copper as well, where demand expected or the expectation went off the roof and prices rallied very significantly. Now that silver prices have cooled up from highs, copper prices have also started to get some normalcy and some equilibrium. And the world is not short of copper at this point in time, Anisha. We have to accept the fact that the whatever we are seeing at this point is little exaggeration and little out of the place in terms of justifying the macros. The demand is not significantly higher. There is enough and more copper available across the globe. Some bit of it is lying idle in the USA, where it had gone previous to President Trump's announcement of the tariffs. So, and now if that starts coming back into the market post June 2026, we will be well supplied market, and the prices could take a pause or probably a reasonable correction over the next 2 to 6 months.
So, Navneet, what is your best case and a worst case scenario when it comes to copper? And I just missed out on that number when you said, how many mines did you say that were undergoing one or the other concern?
Well, about 5 mines which have gone, some of the other concerns, of which 4 mines are large in nature and one is a smaller mine.
Okay. And what is your sense on prices for copper then?
Well, in a best case scenario, I expect 14,500, 14,700, which already has happened in the month of January 2026. But nevertheless, if a rally in silver starts once again, or probably dollar index corrects very sharply, we might see a rebound in the prices again. But my sense is that it will not hold much. In a lower side scenario, maybe 12,000 or 11,500 is a floor for prices.
As you said, since much of that really depends on silver, and we've seen some bit of a silver correction coming in, and this is after very strong gains yesterday. Yesterday was 5 to 6% higher. Today is 1.5% of a decline. How are you reading silver prices from here?
Well, we've been calling it exuberance. I mean, we've also already discussed it well in advance that about anything above $100, it will have some bit of very sharp reaction, and what this is typically which we saw in the first week of February. Overall, I think a broader range will sustain for silver. 60 will be on the downside, where people will start jumping in, buying around 2 lakh rupees on the domestic front. However, anything about 90, 95 will be hard to justify. The only caveat here is how dollar index will behave. My sense is that dollar index is closer to 96.5, 97 levels, and as we approach say second and third quarter of 2026, dollar index has a potential to go anywhere closer to 94 and 92 also in a best case scenario. If that starts to happen, gold, silver and copper, everything will get a little bit of support, but this support will be momentarily. It will be very difficult to justify this kind of momentum. So in a best case scenario 95, and a worst case scenario 65 on the lower side could be the range for silver.
Okay, all right, Manisha, thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. And